Okay, so in this video, I want to talk more about letting go, breaking up with a narcissist, and the difficulties and how hard it is to really do that. I want to talk about after you've been broken up with them. Um, you you really have to become uh if you're like me, like I said, I'm a very soft-hearted, good-natured, well-meaning type of girl. I'm not someone who is malicious. I'm not out there to hurt people. I'm not out there to um, you know, wish bad on anyone. Even ex-boyfriends I've had who've been assholes. I I'm happy that I'm no longer with them. Um, like I said, I don't wish them any ill will. I wish them, you know, the best. I don't have anything really wrong with anybody. But it's very, very understand. You have to understand this. It's very important that you understand that you can't treat. I'm going to tell you this with all seriousness, okay? You cannot treat your ex narcissist like you treat your other ex boyfriends. You cannot do that. Don't even try. Because I'm the same with everybody. Like, I have one way to be. I don't have different personalities, and I treat this person like that and I treat that person like that. I'm always the same. I'm a very stable type person. I'm not a wishy-washy person. Or a flippant person. I'm very solid as to who I am, what I like, what I don't like. I'm very, very solid that way. I know what I want and what I need. Okay? But when you're dealing with a narcissist, okay, you cannot treat them and talk to them as if they're normal. You can't treat them like you treat your other exes. You can't do that. You're just not going to be able to do that. Um, I hate to talk about myself, and I do that a lot. And my last video, I talked about like the fact that I do go into a lot of stories when I do these videos because I feel telling stories is the best way to understand and to make others understand as an example. And I feel like examples are really good ways to learn. I'm trying not to do that as much because I feel like some of these stories can go on forever. And, you know, so I'm trying to just tell facts. But when you learn about narcissistic abuse and when they tell you that you must disconnect from them at all costs, that's really true. You really must. And for being being a soft-hearted, kind, thoughtful, friendly, happy girl, the narcissist will literally eat that up and spit it out, okay? You can't treat them like that. You have to be, I hate to say it, but you kind of have to be a bitch to these people, okay? Because any other type of treatment to them isn't going to work. It's not going to work because that narcissist is still looking to hurt you. They still are looking. I did videos about this. The narcissist uses their exes as supply. And what they do is they use their ex, and if you're like me, like I believe this is true for everybody, not just ex, not just narcissists, but I really believe that people have their favorite exes, people that they really liked or loved. They're just not with them anymore. I believe with my ex narcissist, I was that person for him, and whenever he gets the chance to put that abuse or use that abuse, he will. And he does with me, even to this day. He will try to do something to hurt me, whether it's giving me the silent treatment, ignoring me, Whatever that is, even 10 years later, okay? It's been 10 years. There is no, like I said, time means nothing to a narcissist. It really doesn't. Like, the narcissist doesn't look at their watch and say, wow, I've been broken up for 10 years. Like, maybe I should start acting like a fucking person and stop acting like an idiot or a horse's ass. They don't do that. Narcissists don't have any self-reflection. They don't look at themselves and what they do. So when they tell you you must disconnect, you can't be friends, you can't stay in touch, you can't be buddies, that's really true. Because that narcissist is still looking to push on that narcissistic abuse onto you, even though you're not in a relationship with them anymore. And, you might say to yourself, or why do I feel this way? Well, first of all, I've talked about the narcissist, and if you both frequent a certain social media site, if you're both on a site together and you connect and you talk and anything like that, it's clear that the narcissist is there because you're there, right? And like, if you're there, they're going to be there. And I can say, well, that's kind of hypocritical for me to say that, because if I'm there and he's there, like, we must be there for the same reason, right? That's not really true. Because for me, I've been doing experiments when I had a situation years ago, and I've still been doing this experiment, and I'm no longer doing that experiment. I stopped doing the experiment, and now I'm just kind of on there, kind of just like in passing. I just kind of do it, mostly out of habit, and it's not so much that I'm still even being bothered anymore, because I'm really not. But that doesn't take away from the aggravation that I went through. I had to completely close out a social media site account that I really liked. I had to create 2 new ones that I really didn't want to have 2, but I have to have that because of my privacy. I've had to create, kind of like decoy names for myself, because I can't trust my ex narcissist. And that's kind of sad. It's sad that I have to do that, but that's what I have to do. Whatever I need to do to keep him away from me is what I'm going to do. But it is what it is. You know what I mean? I doesn't really bother me at all anymore. I don't answer friend requests on both of my accounts. I do not do that. If I get a friend request, I remove it. I don't answer those. I don't let anybody onto any of my accounts except for the friends that I know that are on there. I've had to do it where I have one account that's just for friends. I have one account that's just for me. And I do that for a bunch of reasons. I've had to make one for friends and just friends, and nothing is public. And I have another one that's public. And, also I use my messenger on that one as well. I have 2 messenger accounts. So that, but anyway, it's I think for me, it's the aggravation that has gone on to this whole thing. I'm going to do a video also on how it all began, because I've done a lot of stories on here talking about something that I went through, a few years ago with being scared and freaked out and creeped out. But I'm going to explain how that whole thing began in another video. So, no, you have to understand that you and your ex-narcissist, okay, ain't ever going to be friends. And somehow it's hard. And for me, it has been hard. It's hard. It's difficult because it's not in my nature to kind of be that kind of person that is malicious and aggressive and full of anger. I'm not like that. I'm a very sweet, down to earth person. I'm very loving. I love animals. I'm very well meaning and very friendly and lovable. Which I've been told this by everybody that I've dated, and the only person that I have this problem with is my ex narcissist. And my ex narcissist has been the hardest hurdle to get over in my life. And I know that he does it on purpose because he wants to kind of keep me in this state of confusion, the narcissistic abuse, which is of course is the silent treatment, the ignoring, the game playing, the cryptic messages, all that stuff. They want to keep you there. Like I said, even though they have a new supply, that doesn't mean anything. That new supply source means nothing to them. They are focused on you, and they're focused on the abuse that they can put on you. And I know it sounds fucked up, and it is fucked up. And it wasn't until I studied this disorder till I was really able to understand the craziness that it's built on. You do have to disconnect. It's the only real way to overcome. Because even though I am not with my ex narcissist no longer, he still looks for ways to play games and to put on that abuse, that narcissistic abuse, whichever it is, whatever their favorite way is. Sometimes it could be manipulating you in some way. It could be giving you the silent treatment in some way. They do it in all different forms. It depends on that particular narcissist and what their favorite trait, what their favorite, tool is. With mine is games and silent treatments. That's his favorite with me. And he uses that on me because I think that he thinks that bothers me. But it doesn't bother me anymore. I find it to be extremely sad on his part. And so what a sad, person that he really is, that he needs to do this, that he can't man up, that he can't be a man and talk like people. And that's the sad part of the whole thing. I have gotten over that part of it a long time ago, and I've accepted that he's just a child who will never grow up, who can't grow up. And I'm never going to get that apology. I'm never going to get the treatment that I really deserved from him. And I've had to accept that. This channel, what I do on here is how I cope, and kind of like a therapeutic way for me to kind of talk it out. The craziness and the fucked upness of this person, of, how I deal with it. I know a lot of other people deal with it in their own ways as well. Some people go and talk to someone for an hour and they deal with it that way by seeking therapy. Some people deal with it by maybe working out or, doing something else. Like everybody has yoga and stuff like that, meditating. And, I do it through these kind of these videos, you know what I mean? And like I said, once I'm in the video, I think it's going to be much better. I think it'll make people, I guess, know me better. You know what I mean? Not that I'm looking for people to know me, but you know what I mean. But no, you have to disconnect. There is no other way that anything will ever really change with these people. Narcissists don't change. Their behavior patterns don't change. If they were giving you silent treatments 20 years ago, they're going to give you silent treatments today too. If they were playing games 20 years ago, they're playing games today too. If they were selfish 20 years ago, they're still selfish today too. They don't change. Narcissists get worse as they get older. The disorder deepens because their regrets get worse. As a narcissist gets older, they look back on all their past behaviors, their past mistakes, and they're very regretful. They live with deep regret over their own mistakes that they're not able to take accountability for. They're just always running away from accountability, responsibility. They're not able to deal with their feelings. They're not able to talk about their feelings. They suppress everything. They live, a lot of times, they live double lives, or they live a fake life. Like literally, the whole life is just basically built on fake bullshit. It's not even real. It's not based on realness. It's, a lot of it is just for show. A lot of it is not built on trueness or anything like that. They're really sad. It's a sad thing, you know. And with my ex narcissist, I've reached out to him in the past, not anymore. I'm in a relationship now that I'm very, very happy in. But I used to reach out to him before, looking to be friends. Sometimes I, would do things, send him messages, and I would even say, I'd really like to hear from you. How are you? Not a peep, not a fucking word. And at some point, you have to just say, this person is beyond help. Uh, Narcissism is a malignancy. And this is in my own words. A narcissist it's like someone who has a malignant cancer. It's There's no cure for it. There's no help for a narcissist. There's no cure for this disease, this personality disease. They are empty souls. They live on this like empty, torturous boredom, and they're it'll never be cured. They'll never get better from that. They seek attention, a lot of times from people that they they they're not with. Maybe they want to be with, they can't be with for whatever fucked up reason, because they fucked that up. They burnt their bridges. They live with remorse over that breakup. They live with remorse over that one, this one. They live with a lot of remorse, a lot of regret. They get, temporarily they'll get filled by this person, by that person, but it doesn't last. It doesn't last. It doesn't stay. And, the next day they need more. They're never fulfilled. They're never happy. They're never, and it doesn't matter who they're with, because like I said, when I was with mine, he had no reason not to be happy with me. I was, like I said, the perfect girlfriend. Very, very loving, giving. I was always there for him. I was very supportive of him. I cleaned the house. I was always there for him after work. I made his coffee in the morning. I made his breakfast in the morning. I made his lunch for him. I did everything. I did everything I could for this person. And it still wasn't enough for him to be happy. It didn't matter what I looked like. It wasn't about me. It was about him and his own emptiness, his own lack of. And it's not about you. A lot of people, when they break up with narcissists, think, oh, what did I do wrong? I thought that too. I was like, what the hell did I do wrong? Like, what was it? Not a fucking thing. Not a fucking thing. I did nothing wrong in that relationship. Yet, he wasn't true to me. I knew that he most likely was cheating towards the end of the relationship. I don't know if it was sexual cheating, but I know that what he was doing, something was wrong. And this is what they do. This is what they do. After the fact, when me and my ex regained communication in 2019, I don't know what he thought was going to happen then. I don't know if he thought that I was just going to be his little, ex-girlfriend who was going to just like be there with him again. I don't know what he thought. I really have no idea. That didn't end well either. That we ended up on bad terms again after that. And it's just not meant to be with these people. At some point we have to just say, you know what, it's just not worth it. For myself, I've reached, I've extended the olive branch so many times with him. At some point you have to say, you know what, it's time to go. A friendship, even an acquaintance, is not possible with these people. It just isn't possible. When these gurus tell you to disconnect, you can't be friends, you can't be on good terms, you have to turn your back on them, basically tell them to go fuck themselves, and that's it. Shut the door on their face. It's really true. It's really true. There is no personal growth with these people. They don't learn their lesson. You know, usually when something happens, you say, okay, did you learn your lesson? Yeah, I did. I learned from that. Narcissists don't learn from their mistakes. They don't learn from them. They just keep repeating the same thing over and over and over. The same result keeps happening over and over. They don't get anywhere. And they don't learn from it. They just keep doing the same thing over and over. So at some point, you have to understand that that narcissist does not like you. That narcissist does not want to see you happy. The narcissist doesn't like that you're not with them anymore. You know, I would bet all the tea in China that my ex-narcissist hates the fact that I'm not there with him. He hates the fact that we broke up, and in the way that we did break up, he hates the fact that what's happened. He doesn't like, I'm sure he hates what he's doing. I'm sure of it. I'm sure of it. But he'll never be a man and actually tell me that. He'll never reach out to me and tell me the truth about anything because they're cowards. They're just little boys. And I'm sorry, but I have no use for people like that. No use at all. I grant forgiveness where forgiveness is due. If someone truly feels sorry for something, I will forgive people, depending on what they did, depending on who it is and what they did. But there's a lot of people who I don't forgive. Some people are just beyond that. And with my ex-narcissist, he's beyond that. He's way beyond that. And I don't know if he knows that every time he does something, that he's digging the ditch deeper and deeper. You know, he's getting further and further into that ditch. And it's sad, you know, because a friendship, not that I wanted to be his friend, because I never really wanted to be his friend, but I thought, well, it'd be cool if I can just say hi or how you been? How is everything, right? You can't do that with them. You just can't do it with them. It's not, you can't. You just can't. And, you know, it is what it is. It's sad, but you have to just walk away from these people because there's no help for them. There's no help at all. Believe the gurus. You must disconnect. Don't have them on your social media account. You have to end it. End it. Don't go looking for validation or justification on anything with them. Once it's over, you have to have it be over. And trust me, even if they know, like I said, I don't know if my ex-narcissist knows my accounts. I don't think he does, but you never know. And let me tell you, even if they know that, if they have your Twitter or they have your Instagram, if they have anything like that, trust me, get rid of it. You have to make yourself completely scarce to them where they can't see you or have any communication with you or even see what the hell you're doing. A lot of people think, well, we're just Facebook friends and it's not no big deal. It is a big deal. It's a very big deal. Even though you're not friends on there, if you're using your real name, they're checking up. Trust me on that. They're checking up. For all I know, my ex-narcissist knew my last account. For all I knew, he knew that one. He may have known it. And maybe that's the person who was doing those messages to me. I don't know. Maybe it was. Maybe it wasn't. Can't be accusing people if I don't know for real. But I wouldn't put it past them. I wouldn't put it past them. So you have to basically change everything. Once you've been with a narcissist, one who has ill will towards you, who doesn't like you, you have to change everything. You have to make yourself, like I said, I've made decoys. You know, you think, okay, well, it's been 10 years, you know, God, a long time has passed. Even though it's been 10 years since we've been broken up, doesn't feel like it's been 10 years. Why? Because he's been around the whole time, literally. Not the whole time. I'm going to get into that. But anyway, that's it for this video. I'm going to go into another video.